Hey guys, welcome back to Three Terrible Gamers podcast. This is episode 76, and I'm here with Colin.
Hey guys.
Alright, bunch of news this week, and some big news actually. Here, Starfield is reportedly going to PS5.
Yeah. Obviously, it released as an Xbox exclusive back in October,
Se-
November, September.
September, around there. Fall.
Say roughly around that time frame. We covered it way back when.
Yeah, go
It's
listen
just
to
been
it,
a hot
so you'll remember when it came out.
like reviews of the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
But recent rumors and leaks said that
Oh
Starfield
god.
is heading to PS5 sometime in 2024. A report by Xbox Era suggests that Starfield will be released on the PS5 following the launch of its first major DLC on Xbox and PC later in 2024. So the main question with that is, will PS5 just get it then, or do you think they'll get the DLC too if it is a thing at the same time?
I think they'll get the whole thing. They'll get DLC, the base game, everything at the same time as Xbox will.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I guess the rumors are going further and thinking that Xbox isn't going to make another console per se, which obviously that's up for debate still.
Well, yeah, I mean, the big thing is that have fans worried is they're saying Starfield's going to go to PlayStation. They're saying a bunch of other games are going to go to PlayStation and the Switch. And then it says that there was a quote from Phil Spencer saying, "We're listening and we hear you. We've been planning a business update event for next week where we look forward to sharing more details with you about our vision for the future of Xbox. Stay tuned." So to me, a business update event, that doesn't sound like a game showcase or anything. So that sounds like something like there might be something going on within Xbox that they're going to explain to the fan base. So I don't know if they're going to say, hey, we're done with consoles and that's why we're putting our games on other consoles, or if they're going to just be like, we're not even saying anything about being done with consoles, and they're not going to be done with consoles. They're just going to be like, hey, this is why we decided to port our games so other players could have our great games or whatever, you know. But just a business update event does not sound like a good thing to me.
No, so another thing that got hidden, and I seen it right before you sent me all the topics and stuff, just because I was looking at general news that happened, is there was a bunch of layoffs at Xbox too,
Activision.
and the FTC was actually trying to get in trouble for that. So I think this is going a little bit further, like back into the FTC issue, and Xbox was like, okay, I want to start releasing some of my exclusives to these other consoles to try to get the FTC off my back, which is seems to be the only way to get the FTC to be happy, especially with the Activision deal.
Maybe. I mean, honestly, the FTC, I don't know what they can even do about layoffs, because the Federal Trade Commission, like, their main thing is to keep things balanced between companies.
Mm-hmm.
So what's that have to do with them if Microsoft decides to lay off their employees? I don't know. I mean, yeah, it
Well, I
sucks.
think they're
Layoffs
thinking
suck,
more
but
along. Yeah, I think they're FTC. I think is thinking more along the lines of, okay, you just made this big old, basically $70 billion investment. Obviously, it's 69 billion, but just rounding up for simplicity stakes.
right.
So there's like, okay, you made this big old investment as a company, but yet you're not making enough as a company to keep employees on, because, like I said, it's a layoff. It's not like they just fired a couple people.
Right. Well, to be fair though, like, Xbox did lay off some of their inside studios as well, like 343. We talked about them. They laid them off as well, some of them. And there's layoffs across the entire gaming community. So
Yeah.
it's not just Xbox. And I hate to say it, but I honestly seen this coming because there were so many employees at Activision, because it's Activision, Blizzard, and King.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole entire gaming development company, so of course, as big as they are, not everybody could keep their job.
Yeah, that, and it seems like the most recent trend is once you release a major title and stuff, you lay off people anyway. That's what basically every company's been doing.
Right.
So Starfield being the last big title for Microsoft to release is like, okay, we don't need it. Granted, the Activision stuff, it's still a different ballgame because you got your Call of Duty, which is switching to 3 years, but still we got one again this year. Well, last year technically, but still.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I kind of seen it coming that not everybody's going to keep their job at Activision because they are such a big company. Xbox doesn't necessarily need everybody to stay. I'm getting wrong, it sucks. Yeah, being laid off, no matter what job it is, sucks. But that's just business.
Yeah, and sadly, it's a thing you're seeing constantly in the video game world, which makes it, I guess, a techno normal. I would assume at this point.
Yeah, which is sad to see that you're working years. I mean, because games now take at least 5 years to make, I would say. So you're working this long with these people. You think you're good because you've been there, you have seniority, whatever. And then in reality, when this game's finished, you might not have a job anymore. So it definitely sucks. So, yeah, we'll keep you guys up to date on what this business update event ends up being. Hopefully it's something good for Xbox. Hopefully they're not giving up on consoles like Sega, but we'll definitely let you guys know. So we talked about this sometime last year. The Rugrats game is releasing in March.
Yeah, what was this one? The one that switched from like 8-bit to, whatchamacallit, 4K 1080.
Yeah, it's a side scroller one.
Side scroller.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rugrats is released. Via Steam in March. Publisher Limited Run Games and developer Bubmix. The game and Walrad announced limited run games as part of the special NES edition of the game. The demo will be available as part of Steam's Next Fest in February 2024. Didn't know where I was going with that for a second.
Yeah, so it'll release in March for pretty much every system, last gen, current gen, and PC. Via Steam. I guess it's not going to be on any other platform like Xbox or GOG or anything on PC.
Yeah.
Then you're good.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to go on to the next topic. Go ahead.
It's great that they are bringing it to Steam. It's weird that they wouldn't have either a physical release of it though, or have it on the other stores for it to sell more copies potential. But I guess it is going to be included in the next topic.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going to say. You kind of set the next topic up there. Steam Next Fest includes more than 1,000 demos to try, including Rugrats.
Yeah, so $999 now.
Yeah.
There is a list of 1,000. It's on YouTube. A couple people have posted it. The average length was about an hour and a half. I think that's way longer than what you guys want to listen to us for. So if you want to go and you want to listen to every single game there is, there's a few YouTube videos for it. We're not going to cover it. It started earlier this week on February 5th, and I guess it's really just going to benefit people that listen to us live to an extent because it runs until February 12th.
Yeah.
So up until Monday. So going to be kind of irrelevant time we release it on Tuesday.
That's why you listen to us live.
And you got to listen to us live though. But the set event, there are dozens of demos to try, and it'll remain available throughout the week through whether those demos are available to play after Steam Next Fest is at the discretion of the developer or publisher. But yet again, 1,000 titles to try is still impressive.
Yeah, and I kind of made my own little video here of some of the games on the list, not all of them, but I'll just go ahead and name the ones I have here. Maybe not. The ones I can see here are Lightyear Frontier, Shapes 2, Millennia, Gatekeeper, and Winter Survival. So those are the ones I can see. So those are pretty interesting. And then there's Backpack Battles, Dungeonborn, Rotwood, Lightyear Frontier. I already said that. Synergy. And that's as far as the list that I made goes. So never heard of any of those. So if you want to try those out, they're free demos, until the 12th. And then maybe after that, like Colin said, it's at the discretion of the developer. You just have to go to each one and see if they're available after the 12th. But
just scroll around on Steam, you'll find it.
Yeah, so it's a pretty cool event, being able to try out so many games, indie games. All right. So we kind of already talked about this a little bit in the first topic, but Gears of War could also be heading to PlayStation.
Yeah. Microsoft is reportedly consider bringing Gears of War franchise to PlayStation. That's according to the Giant Bomb's Jeff Grubb, which we've talked about him quite a bit on this podcast.
Yep.
Who was elaborating in recent claims that Microsoft is working on a new initiative to release more Xbox exclusive games on other console platforms. I would take this one with more seriousness than the Starfield one because Jeff Grubb does cover this one, and Jeff Grubb is usually correct in the things that he predicts or says.
Yeah, he's a pretty reliable source.
Xbox era is hit or miss from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Jeff Grubb is usually, especially when it comes down to like Nintendo stuff, it's usually like dead on. So I'll take his word for this one definitely being a thing. But I mean, can't really look back, and it would just be a repeat of the first topic if I went into in depth with what I thought with it.
Okay. Yeah, so the article I have here, I'll just go ahead and read it. It says, this is obviously all speculation at this point. As you'd expect, Microsoft hasn't made a peep regarding these PlayStation rumors, or the fact it may be about to transition to becoming a third-party publisher. It's also unclear what Gears games could actually be PlayStation bound. The most recent installment is 2019's Gears 5, which is the most likely candidate for the PS5 port. So, I'll just kind of say what I think about all of these rumors about all these Xbox games. I don't want them to. I personally think that they should stay exclusive. I would love for Switch players and PlayStation players to play these games, and it'd be awesome if they could, but the thing is, games are exclusive to consoles for a reason. So, it wouldn't be right playing a Mario game on a PlayStation, in my opinion. So there's a reason consoles have certain games, and I think PC is a good middle ground. So like Xbox, most of their games come to PC day one. PlayStation's been releasing theirs a couple years, and they actually have one that released simultaneously with PlayStation last week. So PC's the middle ground for these exclusive games. So say Nintendo's the only one that hasn't touched on the PC side yet, which I don't actually think they will, because just being who they are. But that's fine. I just think PC is a good middle ground. That way other people can play these games and they don't have to buy a $500 console if they already have a computer to play these games. But anyway, I just think if you're going to buy a console, I think these games should stay, if they're going to be on console, they should stay on a console. If they want to go to other players, they should go on PC. That's just my opinion though. Like, it wouldn't feel right playing a Forza Horizon game on a PlayStation or a Switch, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, yet again, I can understand the whole concept behind it and your logic makes sense on it. But if that's the way Microsoft is taking, if they're taking a Sega route basically, then, you know, at the end of the day, it's going to be a thing. Because, I mean, yeah, Sega still technically has their mascot, but at the same time, they don't have a competitor in the market. They just make the games.
Right. I don't know. It'd kind of be sad to see if Xbox just was done with consoles, and which we kind of talked about it before, that they may be done with consoles and just focus on Game Pass. And if this is true, that would make a lot more sense of why this is happening. They're just focusing on Game Pass, and then they may even sell Game Pass to PlayStation or Nintendo to put on their consoles. That would make sense, but it would still kind of suck also to see those games play on another console. But it is what it is. If Microsoft thinks that is what will make them the most money, that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Suicide Squad reviews.
Well, it's a solid 59. It's a Metacritic must play. I'm joking.
Yeah.
It is 59, but it's definitely not a must play. On all platforms combined, so that's counting PS5, PC, everything combined into one thing. 5 out of 10 on IGN, 5 out of 10 on GameSpot, 0 out of 10 on Nintendo Life because it's not a Nintendo game. But yeah, it absolutely sucks. Suicide Kill the Justice League is basically a
More
Redfall.
like Kill the Rock. Hey guys, this episode is brought to you by our friends at Bucked Up.
Bucked Up is a company founded in 2016 by two brothers on a mission to provide consumers with the highest quality supplements and fitness products to help them achieve their health and fitness goals.
Bucked Up has a ton of products ranging from energy drinks and supplements to protein bars and pre-workout, all with crazy good flavors like Rocket Pop and Cotton Candy.
You won't find a better tasting boost without the crash anywhere else.
So head on over to buckedup.com and use the code 3TG to get 20% off your order. That's the number 3TG.
Get the job done and feel great with Bucked Up Energy. When you feel it, you just got bucked up.
I'm at the football game. I'm at the grocery store. What? I'm at the combination football game and grocery store.
Wait, you're at the football game
What?
and the grocery store?
Nah, I'm at the combination football game and grocery store. Groceries through Instacart, delivered to my door. I don't have to choose between football and the grocery store.
Steady.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a not very good rated game.
Yeah, I don't know. Like you said, it's 59.
Didn't they try to take like the Mario Wonder route to an extent, like make all the characters play the same?
Yeah, they all play the same. They all have guns. Like, they all don't need guns. Like Harley Quinn makes sense. Makes sense to have a gun, but yeah, 59 on Metacritic, 64 critic reviews. This is just for the PS5 version. The user score is a 3.7 with 1,200 user ratings. And the user score says it is generally unfavorable. So they're saying don't play this game because it sucks. And this just reminds me of Gotham Knights. It's very similar. You have 4 different characters. They all play very similarly. And it's just not fun to have all the characters play the same. And on top of that, Suicide Squad has a ton of microtransactions. It's a live service game, which people hate because of all the microtransactions. So, I mean, it wasn't going to do good to begin with, so I don't know why they even tried.
Unless Warner Brothers knew that they wasn't going to come out too favorable with everything, so it's like, okay, we'll make some money from the kids that have their parents' credit card information and can't get spotted for a few days.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, what happened to Rocksteady making good games? Like, Arkham Knight, that was such a good game. And it's hard to even say that the same company made this game.
Yeah. It's even based in the same universe.
Yeah, like, it makes no sense that they went one way. They're going, taking a page from Ubisoft. Nothing but live service games that suck.
Just because you're playing the game as villains don't mean you can make your game worse than what you are when you're playing as a hero.
Yeah. Like, the game, if they would have focused more on story and made the characters play different, and they could have made a really good story that way, it would have been better than just having it live service and multiplayer.
Yeah. Like I say, especially when 2 characters don't need guns.
Right. The shark and the boomerang, like, they don't need guns. Makes no sense.
Like I said, they try to take a Mario Wonder approach, it seems like. Which Mario Wonder makes sense. It's a
it's a Mario
kid-friendly game, and yeah, it's a Mario game. I mean, granted, this is the first one where they've all had like the same character traits, minus the Yoshis and Nabbit, but actual playable character-wise, because Luigi before always had a slightly higher jump.
Yeah.
Mario was basic and everything else. So, like I said, it just seems like they was like, oh, Nintendo's doing this. We're going to try it with this game.
Yeah, but you're not a Mario game. It's not a 2D side-scroller. It's a 3D action game. Like, what do you... I don't know what these... Yeah.
Game of the year.
Yeah. Be better off... I mean, I'd have picked this over Baldur's Gate, but... Nah, I don't know. But, just... I don't understand what developers are doing. Like, they're getting so greedy that they don't even care the quality of their game. They're just putting microtransactions in them. They make more money.
Yep.
It's stupid. So don't buy this game. Unless you really want to play it, I guess.
Yeah, unless you're like a diehard DC fan.
Yeah.
And that might ruin it for you.
Yeah. If you want to play a good DC Rocksteady game, play Arkham Knight. Alright. Game Pass games for February.
Yeah, there's quite a few of them, actually.
Yeah, good ones.
Nice lineup, too, and some notable ones.
Yeah.
Anuchard?
Yeah.
Is for Cloud Console and PC, coming out February 6th, so it's already out. Train Sim World 4, Cloud Console and PC, February 7th, already out. Madden 24, kind of irrelevant at this point since, the season's going to be over by the time this podcast released. Console and PC, February 8th, so it came out yesterday, time of recording. Resident Evil 3, Cloud Console and PC, February 13th, so I believe when this podcast released, you can go download it right away. Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, Cloud Console and PC, February 14th. A Little to the Left, Cloud Console and PC, February 15th. Plate Up, Console, Cloud, PC, February 15th. Return to Grace, Cloud Console and PC, February 20th. So, I've only heard of 3.
Yeah.
out of the 8.
Persona, Madden, and Resident Evil.
Is it I'm assuming it's the original Resident Evil 3, not a remake?
It doesn't say remake, so I'm assuming probably the original, but I don't know that for sure. I found that on 13th, I guess.
Yeah.
I could probably look it up, but definitely, I mean, there's a lot of Persona fans out there. So it's Persona 3 Reload, Madden. Haven't played a Madden in a while. I honestly haven't enjoyed a Madden since like Madden 07, Madden 08. Madden 17 was okay, but and then Resident Evil, of course, is a good game. We talked about last month. Resident Evil 2 remake was going to Game Pass and also PS Plus, but now you can play Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3, which used to be a GameCube exclusive back in the day, then was ported over to other consoles. Very good game. Very, very good game. My favorite Resident Evil game.
3?
Yeah. We got time for probably one more. Maybe 2. Alright. So this kind of contradicts everything we've said up to this point about Xbox. But there's a report that an Xbox Switch-like handheld might be coming out.
Yeah, so the Xbox's next-gen console is reportedly set to launch in 2026. Moreover, Microsoft is planning to release 2 devices, and one of them would be a dockable handheld console similar to Nintendo Switch. So, I mean, like I said, take what we just said previous in this podcast with a grain of salt. Take all of this with a grain of salt. I mean, I think it's more likely that exclusives are going to PlayStation than what the next console is, especially since it's still 2 years away, almost 3 years away, because it'll be holiday season of 2026.
Yeah.
So it'll be almost 2027 when it releases, if it winds up being a thing, which seems a little out of schedule. Seems they're pushing a little bit longer than what they normally would, because usually they do it about every 5 years.
Yeah.
So it'd be basically, it'd be 6 years instead of 5.
Yeah, so it says the rumor stems from Xbox community member Mag on the XNC podcast, as spotted by media publication AltShare. Mag alleges that Xbox will be releasing these future consoles in 2026, but added that this plan might change. Mag did not reveal more information about the rumored Xbox handheld console. However, elsewhere, Jez Gordon, a reliable industry insider for Xbox-related stuff, reported that Microsoft recently gave the go-ahead for several Xbox hardware, implying that Xbox is not planning on leaving the console hardware landscape. So we have topics earlier saying that they might just be done with consoles, that they're turning into a third-party developer. And then here we have that they're coming out with 2 consoles, a regular home console and then a handheld console. So who actually knows what's going on at Xbox? I guess we might find out a little more next week when they come out with that business plan. But I'd say that this is probably a bunch of bull.
Especially the handheld part.
Especially the handheld part. If it's not a bunch of bull, it would be actually a really good move, and it would be better than Sony's handheld, because not only would this be able to remote play to the Xbox like Sony's handheld, but you could actually play games away from your Xbox like Sony should have made. So if this is real, it's definitely better than Sony's handheld, but personally I think it's just not real. I mean, were there probably plans? Probably. But, I mean, it seems like they're having some kind of internal conflict right now. So it may have been scrapped. It may be put on hold until they figure out what they're doing. Because not only are they possibly porting over games, exclusive games to other consoles, that there's a report saying that there's internal conflict in Xbox, that some are okay with sending exclusives to other consoles, some are not. So I think that's why they're kind of just having a business meeting event just to clear everything, because apparently there's feuding going on inside Xbox studios.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it's turning money off.
I mean, maybe. I'm sure nobody's happy, but I mean, the thing is, though, Xbox, Microsoft, they have a ton of money. So they're actually not hurting on money. So honestly, whatever's going on in Xbox is okay financially wise. They've lost money every single generation except for the Xbox 360 generation. So they're used to losing the console wars. Of course they're going to lose the console wars because Japan's had a hold on the gaming community since the beginning. So, and Xbox is never going to be favored in Japan because it's not a Japan-made console. Sony and Nintendo are. So, of course, Microsoft's never going to win console war. I mean, they're just not. So, anybody that says that they're shutting down because they're done losing the console war, that's not true. They pretty much expect to lose the console war. They're just happy to make a profit off of consoles.
Yeah.
So, who knows what's actually going to happen with Xbox. They could have just announced next week that, yeah, we're porting over our exclusives, basically so we'll make more money. And they will. They'll make more money if their games go out other places. So, that could be it. Who knows?
You're about wholesale or Game Pass.
Yeah, exactly. Either way, they'll make more money. And as a business point, yeah, that's a smart move because they will make more money. But an exclusive console, or it's not because they won't have exclusives anymore. But
yeah, did you know Sony and Nintendo would never do the same thing?
Right. Not all of, like, MLB The Show. It used to be a PlayStation exclusive made by PlayStation Studios, but it's now available on the Switch and Xbox. So if Sony can do it, I mean, anybody can do it. But Xbox, I think if they do it, they're going to, personally, in my opinion, I think they're going to go too far and do all of their games, not just one franchise or a couple franchises. Like, I can see Halo, Forza, all of them go on to other consoles. Yeah. And to me, that's not a smart move because then you won't really have any console sellers anymore.
Especially if it's going to somebody else.
Right. You don't have to buy your console to play those games. Yeah, what one or two franchises go, that's fine. But your big heavy hitters like Forza and Halo, I'd keep them laying low on my own console. Like Starfield, that's fine, because they just bought Bethesda. Bethesda used to make PS5 games or PlayStation games. That's fine, that's not technically, yes, it's an exclusive because you bought the studio, but they used to make games for that company, so that's fine, but something that's been in your name for 20 years, I wouldn't port it to another console now.
No.
Alright, I'm done ranting about this. But that's all the time we have, guys. We appreciate you for watching and listening. You can always watch us live on Twitch and YouTube. Make sure to follow all the podcast socials for Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Shout out to Bucked Up for sponsoring today's episode. You can buy merch on Redbubble. Join our Discord. Colin, you have anything?
I think that's it.
All right. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you in the next episode.